all of a sudden, your childhood was robbed from you almost.
Part of the problem sounds like that you grew up too soon.
My life since the day I was 6 years old has basically been an open book.
Drew Barrymore is no stranger to the dark side of Hollywood. In fact, she recently came out to expose the evil gatekeepers in the industry and how they force young actors to do things they shouldn't do.
Do you recall your first experience with...
I was 10 or 11.
So what did Drew say?
Who gave you your first drug, for goodness sake?
As I said then, they were friends, but they weren't really friends. I would walk up and they would be like, oh, it's little Drew Barrymore. Come right in, good publicity, you know.
Drew Barrymore's 2020 interview with The Sun was nothing short of a revelation. The actress, now 48 years old, candidly shared her journey through life, a path marked by early fame, addiction, and ultimately, redemption. In the interview, Drew unflinchingly peeled back the layers of her past, revealing a side of her life that was hidden from the prying eyes of the public for many years. She didn't mince words when describing her past self as a party girl who was a frequent visitor to the bustling nightlife of Hollywood. It's a stark contrast to the image we often associate with her, one of youthful innocence and cherubic charm. Drew's admission that she used to consume alcohol nearly 5 times a week during her youthful escapades raised eyebrows and garnered attention. However, it was her shocking revelation that she had been experimenting with substances from as early as age 12 that sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. "I don't know how I ended up here, but I will never lose sight of how lucky I am," Drew confessed during the interview. This acknowledgement of her early setbacks and the startling revelations of her youthful drug use was a testament to the strength it took to overcome her past demons. It was a stark reminder that the Hollywood lifestyle can have both glittering highs and perilous lows. However, Drew's journey, from the heights of fame as a child actress to the depths of addiction and eventual rehabilitation, is a cautionary tale that captures the essence of Hollywood's unforgiving nature. It's a story that serves as a stark reminder of the perils of early stardom and the harsh realities that often lie beneath the glitz and glamour of the industry. As she delved deeper into her interview, Drew provided a glimpse into the world of Hollywood and its often cruel treatment of those who falter. The actress shared her experience of being sent to rehab as a teenager, a revelation that shed light on the industry's cold and unforgiving nature. "Film bosses just wrote me off as damaged goods, and I sadly understood that," she commented, reflecting on the moment when Hollywood turned its back on her. It's a chilling reminder of how quickly the industry can discard its young stars when they face adversity, leaving them to fend for themselves in a world where fame can be a double-edged sword. But it's at this juncture that we find ourselves grappling with a perplexing question. How could Hollywood, the very entity that played a significant role in Drew Barrymore's early exposure to drugs and alcohol, abandon her when she needed support the most? Could it be that the very industry elites didn't want to be named as a contributing factor in her descent into addiction?
I said then they were friends, but they weren't really friends. I would walk up and they would be like, oh, it's little Drew Barrymore.
In any case, the Hollywood lifestyle of the 1980s was notorious for its excesses and indulgence. It was a world where young stars like Drew Barrymore found themselves caught between its alluring charm and perilous pitfalls. While it's essential to avoid oversimplifying the issue by attributing her struggles solely to Hollywood, it's equally crucial to acknowledge the complex interplay of factors that shaped her journey. Drew's early exposure to fame, adult environments, and the pressure to conform all contributed to her vulnerability during her formative years. The Hollywood culture of excess and ready availability of substances further heightened the risk. It's a challenging reality to reconcile. An industry that thrust her into the limelight also exposed her to the temptations and dangers that came with it. Now let's talk about Hollywood's seductive charm. It's a place where dreams are born, but it's also where nightmares lurk in the shadows. The relentless pressure to fit in, to be part of the exclusive in crowd, proved to be a formidable adversary for Drew. Her desire for acceptance among her older co-stars and peers led her down a treacherous path where experimentation with substances became all too common. In Drew Barrymore's case, these Hollywood-related factors combined with her personal circumstances to create a challenging environment. However, it's essential to remember that individual choices and circumstances also played significant roles in her struggles. Her journey journey serves as a poignant reminder that the path to recovery is multifaceted and that support and understanding are essential, especially in a town where fame can be both a blessing and a curse. But to truly grasp the depth of Hollywood's influence on young stars like Drew Barrymore, we must explore the various facets of this dynamic relationship. It's a world where dreams are nurtured, but it's also a world where vulnerabilities are exposed and sometimes exploited. Drew Barrymore's journey into the world of entertainment began at a remarkably young age. She first graced the silver screen at the tender age of 4, leaving an indelible mark on audiences worldwide as Gertie in E.T. in 1982.
Is he a boy or a girl? He's a boy. Was he wearing any clothes?
This breakout role catapulted her to fame, and her life was forever changed. But the Hollywood spotlight doesn't just illuminate, it can also cast shadows. As Drew's star ascended, she found herself immersed in a world where premieres, parties, and events were the norm. These gatherings, often attended by adults, were fertile ground for alcohol consumption and, on occasion, use. For a child like Drew, who was still in her formative years, being surrounded by this behavior had the potential to normalize it, even if she was not actively participating. You see, child actors, particularly those as famous as Drew Barrymore, frequently found themselves navigating adult-dominated spaces. Whether it was on film sets, at after-parties, or industry events, they were exposed to adult behaviors, conversations, and expectations. This early exposure could have had a profound impact on her development. While she was still a child, she was navigating a world that demanded her to act and behave like an adult, which could have been confusing and challenging.
Nice.
Hey, come on, can I get you a glass of milk, honey?
Milk? I'm a Barrymore. Get me a drink and make it a double.
What's more, the world of Hollywood exerts a relentless pressure to conform and belong to the in crowd. For Drew, this might have meant participating in activities that her older co-stars or peers were involved in, including experimenting with substances and alcohol. The desire for acceptance was especially intense for Drew, given her fame at a young age. She was working alongside established actors and actresses who were often older and more experienced. The pressure to fit in and be recognized as part of this elite circle, combined with the ready availability of substances, created a risky environment where experimentation could easily turn into addiction. In any case, while most children her age were attending school, having sleepovers, or playing with friends, Drew was navigating a vastly different reality. Her days were filled with work on film sets, attending press events, and dealing with the complexities of fame. This lack of a regular childhood and the absence of typical child-to-child interactions could have left her feeling isolated and disconnected from her peers. In such circumstances, substances might have seemed like an escape or a way to cope with the pressures and demands of her unique life. The absence of normalcy further exacerbated the vulnerability she felt in the face of drugs and alcohol. Another key factor in Drew Barrymore's early struggles with substances was the lack of consistent adult guidance and protection. Her parents, particularly her mother, Jade Barrymore, were not always present or protective. In fact, Jade was known to take her daughter to adult gatherings and nightclubs, blurring the lines between appropriate parenting and risky exposure.
Where were you when she was going to parties and bars at 9?
I was never with her at bars. She would go her way and I would go my way.
You just decided to just let her have some space?
Yes.
Without responsible adult oversight and boundaries, Drew was left to navigate the complex world of Hollywood on her own, making her more susceptible to negative influences. Additionally, the 1980s Hollywood scene was characterized by a culture of excess. It was an era marked by an abundance of money, fame, and the accompanying vices. Addictive substances were rampant in the industry, and they were not limited to the fringes. They were often a part of the party scene at major events, premieres, and exclusive gatherings. For a young and impressionable star like Drew, this environment could be both enticing and hazardous. The abundance of temptations, coupled with the lack of a strong support system and guidance, created a perfect storm that contributed to her early struggles with addiction. In any case, Drew Barrymore's journey through Hollywood's labyrinthine landscape is a compelling narrative that underscores the power and influence of the entertainment industry on its young stars. It's a story of early fame, adult environments, peer pressure, and the allure of a culture that celebrates excess. It's also a story of resilience and personal growth as Drew managed to overcome her challenges and rebuild her life and career. But it's crucial to remember that Drew's story is not an isolated case. Many young stars, past and present, have grappled with the complexities of fame and the pressures that come with it. While Hollywood can offer immense opportunities and rewards, it can also expose its stars to a world that is both exhilarating and treacherous. One person actually commented on the state of the industry in the 80s, saying, "The 80s and 90s were so predatory and sickening, even up to the early 2000s, truth be told." Good for her, she made it despite all of the adults around her being filth. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.